What are the three things you want me to know about you most? If I read your resume top to bottom, inside and out, front and back, what would that be? If I had to guess, I would assume it's you're a team player. Sounds pretty right. Good communicator. Okay. Willingness to learn. Hell, let me give a fourth. You're a problem solver. Now, I don't say that to point out that, oh, everyone's generic and they all come around the same three or four things. Actually, no. What I find is people all approach those things in different ways. And truth be told, everyone can be similar but unique at the same time. My point to you today is this: you are not telling me those things. I have to ask you that question right now. And for you to tell me it, and then for me to go read your resume, I'm never going to learn that about you. I will never know that you're a really good problem solver or really good at communication. And you know why? It's because the user experience you give me on your resume every single time you apply. And that's what I want to explore in this video is your user experience. And I want you to start thinking about this in a different way. And I encourage you to stay to the very end on this one. This is probably the most important lesson in my entire YouTube channel for you to go through. Because if this is one that you can get down with, this is one that will change how you operate, and it changes how you do and think about your resume. Now, if you want more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe notification bell for me to keep doing these and for the channel really to keep growing. I appreciate your time and taking the time to hit that button right there. And let's get started. My name is Jason Humphrey. I help aspiring software engineers get the job of their dreams, whether they're just starting out or they've been in their career for 5 to 10 years. I help them all the same get the job they're looking for next. And this lesson is a very big reason why they get it. Because something I always ask people when I sit down is, oh, let me see your resume. Okay. What three things do you want me to know most about you? And like I said in the beginning, I list off those skills, but that's generally the answer that comes back. But as soon as I look back down, they're nowhere to be found, or they're hidden at the bottom, or they assume and make assumptions that I'm going to understand that, oh, well, I did my education section there at the bottom. That's how you know I'm a problem solver. I've got the credentials. It's like, if that's what you wanted me to know, no, I don't know. And so this is what the crux of this lesson is on, is the user experience. What you hand to me is my experience. The last time I had 500 applications in 1 week, I kid you not, you've heard this before, but I didn't spend more than 15 seconds on any of them. The experience you give me top down, generally that top part of the resume, that's generally where I spend my time. Now, yes, I know some of my colleagues will jump around and jump to sections that they want to hear, but ultimately I'm going to read top down. If you buy back 15 more seconds from me, you've won, because more than likely you're going to buy back another 15 seconds, and more than likely I'm then going to click on link. But this is my point. You're not currently buying it back because you're not selling what they want most. And so this is where I ask that question first. And if we look at our data from the job market analysis, we look at our data from the resume audits, if we look at our data from LinkedIn, you now have data to help you understand what does your market care about, and are you selling that to them right off the bat? And when I think about this and we think about the user experience in auditing this, what are the three things, and here's the test to give, what are the three things people get on your resume? Go send your resume to 3 people and ask each of them to spend 15 seconds on it, and then ask them in 15 seconds as you time yourself, what do you get out of my resume? What is a summary you can give me that you got in reading it for just 15 seconds? Because that summary is the telling picture of your user experience. If you get all tricky and try to do a left-hand side column with a right side column, and you've got like your main information you want people to know down low in the middle, but you got other information in the top right, this comes right back to you're delivering this experience to where they can't get through it in 15 seconds. So this matters. Now, there's other parts to think about here of what matters most for you and how we audit this. What matters most is what sells you the best. And so my next part I'm going to ask here is, what sections are more valuable than others to you? Is your education section more proof and more value for you than, let's say, your project section, potentially? At the same time, sometimes your experience section is way less valuable than your education. What I see is sometimes people will value their experience, even if it's non-related tech, at the very top, which is the wrong way to approach it. Because what do your people care about most? That's what we should be putting at the top. So something I want you to think about in what you see in your resume right now is, what do they care about most? Is it your education? Did you go to a boot camp? Because the reason why I say this probably needs to go up top is when people see that you have no true CI or CS, I was going to say computer science degree, forget that for a second. If people see you have no experience in this, one of the things they're going to immediately ask themselves in this experience going through your resume is, oh, well, then how do they know to code? Where did they learn this? You could also put some projects at the top, but then they're wondering why they're reading projects. So potentially it might make the most sense here for you delivering experience with education, projects, then past experience. And so this brings us to, well, our next point is, do your bullet points drive them value? And this refers directly back to that last video about, do your bullet points drive value? And this is that experience of when someone can, if you buy back the 15 seconds because you gave a good summary, you gave the right order, now they're intrigued, do your bullet points now drive value with the X, Y, and Z, accomplished, measured, and actions? Maybe, maybe not. At the same time, we have that data. We have the highlighter technique. We now know we're delivering an experience that's either heavy soft skills, heavy hard skills. Can we find a right balance in our experience? Now, I know there's those common things that people want to sell, but what I want to encourage you to do is to make sure that you have an even distribution of hard skills to soft skills. If you don't have any soft skills, make a point to try to get some in there, because part of the experience that people always look for is not just that you can communicate, collaborate, and be a problem solver and just list them out, but prove them out. Have an XYZ that shows how you are a good problem solver and that you can prove it out. Now, I'm not going to go into how to write the summary here, but something I want to advocate for you to do right now in your summary is, if you tell me you're a problem solver, I fully expect for you to prove to me you're a problem solver. And proof is generally in experiences there. Proof is generally around a project or a number or something you've done that someone can read a one-sentence proof point and go, yeah, that's pretty good problem solving. I'd love to talk to them about it. When we think about user experience is what you hand over to them at the end of the day. And what you hand over to your friends to test out is a pretty similar experience to what hiring managers are going to go through. So I encourage you to do that. And as we come to an end here, let me wrap this all up by saying this. Go ask somebody to review your resume. Get those 3 things that they get out of most. Ask them that, because it's going to be very eye-opening. But then I want you to take the time to make sure that the next time you hand your resume over to somebody, you already know what 3 things they're going to get out of it, because you architected it from the very beginning. At the same time, make sure you deliver a user experience that has your skills in the proper order, or not even just skills, has your sections in the proper order so that you don't even have to worry about it. And then make sure the bullet points you put out there in the public are driving value to anyone that reads it with the X, Y, and Z formula. If you can do these 3 things, you will start to deliver an experience that helps them understand who you are right away, helps them read the most important things about you, and then drive the value to them or an understanding of how you drive value to them immediately. If you want more content like this in the future, please hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe so the channel can keep growing. There is more where this comes from. Check out down below, and we will see you in the next video.